Welcome, crypto fam, to the #1 daily Bitcoin pod. In today's show, I'll be breaking down the latest Bitcoin technical analysis and quoting the high priest of Bitcoin, Max Kaiser. The only project 2025 I'm aware of is Bitcoin breaking $350,000 in 2025. Send it. And quoting Stacy Herbert, you snooze, you lose. The Bitcoin epoch for this cycle will separate the winners from the losers for the next century or two. Powerful words. We'll also be discussing German government $354 million Bitcoin sell-off. Is there more volatility incoming? We'll be discussing it, as well as the spot Bitcoin ETFs buy up $654 million worth of Bitcoin in 3 days, as well as Bitcoin transfer costs fall to a 2020 low. The lowest it's been since the 2020. Now, also, Bitcoin close to flashing a bullish signal that previously foreshadowed over a 270% rally for the Biddy, according to Sentiment, which would send us to roughly $222,000 per coin. And speaking of bullish price predictions, we also have SkyBridge Capital's Anthony Scaramucci. He sees Bitcoin hitting $100,000 by this year's end and says good news coming for BTC. I'll be sharing this with you. All this, plus so much more, in today's show. If you're new to the channel, important to smash those likes, subscribe, then hit the bell icon and make sure you turn on all notifications. And if for some reason you're no longer receiving notifications, I suggest turn them all off and then hit the bell icon and turn them all back on and see if it fixes the problem. It's either that or I am shadow banned on the tube, but nobody has been receiving notifications when I go live. So that might fix the problem. It's worth a shot. Now, anyways, fam, welcome to today's pod. It's episode 1696. I'm your host, JV, and it's July 10th. 2024. Let's kick it off with our market watch as we do each and every day, and then we'll dive into some live chart action as well as some astrology for the broskies, aka technical analysis. And checking out Coin360, you should be able to see on your screen right now. We're currently trading above 57,400, Bitcoin in the red, but barely tiny itty bitty correction, down 0.6% in the day. We have Ether up 1%, trading above 3,100. Solana correcting, XRP pretty even, and Cardano and Tron pumping, but very modestly in the green. And checking out coinmarketcap.com, we got 65 billion worth of volume for the past 24 hours, down roughly 13% on the day. The Bitcoin dominance is 53.4%. Ether dominance 17.5%. And there are currently 2.4 million plus cryptocurrencies. That's right, 2.4 million. And there's 790 exchanges. Wow, no shortage of exchanges to buy some biddies from, that's for sure. But anyways, I was hoping it showed me the market cap, but I'll just scroll down. The Bitcoin market cap today is $1.13 trillion, and I'm going to speculate that the total crypto market cap is just above 2 trillion. I don't like, it's 2.13 trillion. I don't like the coin market cap update because instead of showing all the data, it shows you one metric at a time and it makes you wait. So boo. But anyways, the top 100 crypto gainers for the past 24 hours. Stacks, let's freaking go. Up 11%. I dig it. We have Mog Coin up 10% and ZK up 8%. Below that, we have Aave, Optimism, and Jasmine. Now, which alts, if any, are you bullish on for this bull? Holla. And checking out the crypto bubbles to get a visual perspective on the daily. Safe to say 90% of the market back in the green. So the alts are having a little run up right now. And checking out on the monthly, a broader perspective, still Wreck City, a lot of massive losses in the altcoin market. So be careful out there, especially with mass volatility around this time post-halving. Now, checking out the crypto greed and fear index today, we're at 28. Still in fear. Yesterday was a 27. Last week, a 50 neutral. And last month, a 72 in greed. So there you have it. We'll start here. Bitcoin sellers are trying to keep the Bitcoin price below 60 G's, baby. That's right. Here you're looking at the one-day chart. Bitcoin closed in on 60,000 July 10th as the bulls fought for key trendline support. TradingView confirmed Bitcoin price highs of 59.5 on Bitstamp on the day. Swift gains into the Asia trading session left Bitcoin up 1.5%, with Bitcoin bouncing from classic oversold conditions. These had been widely discussed by market participants, in particular in the Relative Strength Index, which circled its lowest level in 10 months. That's right, the RSI, quoting Dan Crypto Trades, bullish divergences on the daily confirm. Be on the lookout for an overall high timeframe breakout on the daily RSI at some point in the future. Now, popular trader and analyst Rat Capital subsequently said the RSI divergence was playing out, and Dan Crypto Trades flagged 59 Gs as the main price level to reclaim, while others lean towards 58.4 in the race to tackle resistance in the 60,000 vicinity. Quoting Justin Bennett, another analyst, if Bitcoin can reclaim 58.4, then a 60,000 to 60,700 retest is likely. What happens when 60,000 and 58.4 will determine whether Bitcoin sees 67 or 48 next. Which one will it be, family? You let me know. 67 Gs or 48 Gs. Holla in that chat. Now let's discuss the bears lining up resistance of last resort. CoinGlass showed thin liquidity at the key level, but building at the time of this recording, with the majority cleared during the day's push higher. Bitcoin is now challenging the 1.5-month downtrend for a breakout attempt. According to Rat Capital, the current Bitcoin price activity includes a battle for both the 99 day, that is, and 200-day moving averages, with Bitcoin now sandwiched between them. So there you go, yo. And quoting the High Priest of Bitcoin, the only project 2025 I am aware of is Bitcoin breaking $350,000 in 2025. Send it. That's a great target. My personal prediction for the cycle high is also in 2025. I think it could be anywhere from 222,000 to 750,000 to 350. Easy peasy. And quoting Stacy Herbert on the back of the ETFs buying these freaking dips, right? You snooze, you lose. This Bitcoin epoch will separate the winners from the losers for the next century or two. Let that one sink in, family. And now let's look at some of the live chart action. This is brought to you by TradingView via Coinbase. You can see we're trading at $57,400. Let me switch up the scene so you can see it even better. Boom, shakalaka. So yeah, this is actually the 1 month chart right now. The 1 month chart looking very bullish. Now, they say when in doubt, zoom out, and this is pretty far zoomed out. You can see we had 7 green consecutive candles followed by a little red, little green, little red, little red. So the past couple of months have been bearish on the monthly chart, but again, if you're in doubt, just zoom out and look how bullish overall it's been. You'll be able to see that Bitcoin's been on a 15-year bullish trajectory. Now checking out the 1 week chart. Right here, we do got some breakout formations. There's a bullish flag. You can see in the purple sitting just at around 90,000. And then we have one even north, more north, sitting at $119,616. Also, this weekly chart looking very bullish right now. And zooming in some, we'll go to the 1 day. You can see here, we had a itty bitty red candle close. And then prior, we had 2 green, 1 red, green, red. Overall, it's been sideways, so not as bullish as the weekly and the monthly, but you already know. And then zooming into the 4 hour, which is definitely one of my favorite charts we like to look at when we do the pump watches and such. You can see we had 3 consecutive red candles, unfortunately, after we tapped 58,000, which I believe was the high for yesterday, just above 58. As today, we're currently at 57.4. And we'll zoom in a little bit more. Look at the 1 hour chart. And you can see here we do got some formations, including a rising wedge, which is bullish. See that big green candle that we had? We do have a target in the blue sitting all the way at $63,500. And we also have a target south sitting at $53,940. So there you go, crypto bros, crypto fam, crypto gals. But anyways, yo, let's move into our next story of the day, discuss the latest with the German carnage from the dump. German government, 354 million Bitcoin sell-off Will there be more volatility? Let's break it down. The wallet labeled German government on Arkham has loaded up 6,000 more biddies worth $354 million in preparation for the next round of Bitcoin sell-offs. So far, 5,853 BTC has been sent to addresses associated with Coinbase, Kraken, Flow Traders, and other unidentified or unconfirmed addresses. The next attempt to offload roughly 342 million worth of Bitcoin has begun. This ongoing distribution of the 6,000 Bitcoin follows the outflows of 3,100 BTC, worth 178 million, which was yesterday, July 9th. Incidentally, the address also withdrew 1,700 BTC for 91 million from Bitstamp, recouping its Bitcoin holdings, indicating an inability to offload them on the exchange. And on July 9th, the holding stood at around 26,000 BTC, worth roughly $1.5 billion, with a linked address used to offload the fund's holding 4,800 BTC. And as of today, July 10th, the wallet's current holdings are only around 18,100 BTC, now worth just over $1 billion, down over 400 million since yesterday, July 9th. And we have Dr. Leonard Ante, the CEO of Blockchain Research Lab, explained that investigators from the federal state of Saxony seized the Bitcoin funds. She explained that the funds are said to have originated from the illegal streaming portal Movie 2K, and that one of the defendants is said to have facilitated the voluntary transfer of the funds. Quoting her here, the Public Prosecutor's General Office has sole authority over the confiscated Bitcoin. The German state police just provides the wallets through which the transactions are processed. And she detailed the proceeds of the funds, stating the following: they go to the state budget of the Free State of Saxony. However, victims of the Movie 2K portal and example filmmakers could have a claim to parts of it. This will have to be decided by the courts. Now, for the method of sale, lost the Bitcoin billionaire status despite the ongoing sell-off of the dumping of over $1 billion in Bitcoin into the market thus far. The price of Bitcoin steadily has risen back to highs of 58,000, which we tapped yesterday after hitting lows of 53,900. She also explained the ongoing events raised questions about whether the Saxon government sales strategy is efficient, as shared here. Perhaps auctions or over-the-counter deals would be more efficient. However, we can only speculate about this at present. If Bitcoin wants to live up to its role as the global financial asset in digital gold, the market must be able to withstand such events. Such a coordinated attack against Bitcoin, family. It's not even funny. And of reportedly almost 50,000 BTC seized by the Public Prosecutor General's office, only around 13,000 biddies worth 770 million remain. This resulted in the reported German government losing its Bitcoin billionaire status. Oh no, sucks to be Germany right now, eh? Now, the Code of Criminal Procedure outlines the procedure and regulations of an emergency sale of confiscated or seized objects during criminal investigations in Germany, detailing that objects confiscated or seized under 111F can be sold if there is a risk of significant loss of value, threat of spoilage, or costs or difficulties associated with storage, maintenance, or upkeep. Now, the Bitcoin sell-off by the reported German government address coincides with the Mt. Gox initiation of the long-awaited Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash repayments to creditors. Discussing the market narrative, Ante also said that the ongoing event may be forgotten in a few months, and new events such as Mt. Gox payments may be the subject of the debate. Shared here. Such sales likely lead to an even broader distribution of the Bitcoin ownership, so the whole event may be positive for Bitcoin in the medium term. So there you go, yo. That's the latest with Germany continuing to mass sell their biddies like idiots as BlackRock continues to buy them all up. But anyways, we discussed the German dump. Now let's discuss the Bitcoin ETFs as BlackRock continues to pump it up. You know what I mean? Headline reads, spot Bitcoin ETFs buy up 654 million of Bitcoin in the past 3 days, yo. That's right, 650 million. Pretty wild. And that's since July 5th, actually, considering the weekend don't count. It comes after another strong day of net inflows for the 11 spot Bitcoin ETFs on July 9th. BlackRock's Bitcoin ETF, iShares Bitcoin Trust, pulled in 121 million in inflows, followed by Fidelity's Wise Origin Bitcoin Fund, which raked in 91 milli. And the total net inflows across the U.S.-based spot Bitcoin ETFs for July 9th came in at 216 million, or or 3,760 BTC, according to data from Farside Investors. The breakdown is right here. IBIT had 2,100 BTC, FBTC had 1,580 BTC, ARC-B had 750 BTC, and GBTC had negative 650 BTC, Grayscale Bitcoin Trust. The burst of the inflows includes 295 million July 8th and 141 million July 5th, totaling 654 million over the past 3 trading days. Bitcoin failed to climb back over 60 since July 4th, and at this time we're trading just shy of 50 AGs. Some analysts hope that the ETFs will help drive up the price of the Bitty, as they did in the previous months before March when Bitcoin hit the new all-time high, which currently stands at 73,800. Quoting 21st Capital, the run-up from 16,000 to 73,000 was largely driven by ETFs, following the buy the rumor, buy the news phenomenon, he shared. And up to mid-March, ETF flows were very strong, and the market moved up. Since then, the ETFs have slowed down, and bankruptcy outflows took over, causing a weak price action all the way down to 56 Gs. Now, inflows of US ETFs haven't been enough to outpace the recent Bitcoin selling spree from Germany, the country's federal criminal police, which seized nearly 50,000 BTCs, as we already discussed. So I'm not going to share any more details on the Germany confiscation, but nonetheless, there you have it. Shout out Chandy 10 Music, just gifted 5 memberships to the channel. Shout out Mark Wardlaw, RJ, One Glen Co., Globetrotter, and Kwang Lei. You've all been hooked up with the MicroStrategy membership of the channel on behalf of Chandy. So show Chandy some love, give her some, love in the comments, and of course make sure to subscribe to the channel Chandy 10 Music. It's pinned at the top of the comment section on the tube. But anyways, family, let's continue, let's discuss the latest with Bitcoin cost down since we haven't seen the cost this low since 2020, according to the headline here. Bitcoin transfer costs fall to 2020 lows. So let's break this baby down. Welcome everyone to join the stream. The average fee associated with each Bitcoin transaction fell to the lowest level in 4 years, July 7th, at $38, a figure last seen at the peak of the Novid. I'll just say Novid. The cost per Bitcoin transaction for the day is determined by the miner's revenue and the total number of transactions processed. July 7th, Bitcoin was trading above 58,200 when transaction costs came down due to the 2 key factors: lower demand for the block space as well as data volume. Bitcoin miners processed 672,000 transactions over the Bitcoin network July 7th, according to YCharts data. Bitcoin represented roughly 90% of the transactions, and the rest of the bandwidth was taken up by other protocols such as Ordinals and BRC and Runes. Now, Bitcoin miner revenue for the day represented 1% of the transaction volume, an average share over the past 6 months. Despite the lower average transaction costs, miners benefited from reduced network difficulty, which allowed them to process transactions using comparatively lesser computational power. And reading into the turbulent crypto market intelligence firm CryptoQuant said the Bitcoin miners are showing signs of capitulation as profit margins tighten in the post-halving climate as the Bitcoin price falls close to 50,000. Minor capitulation in the process of reducing operational costs or selling a portion of Bitcoin earnings to stay afloat during uncertain market conditions. The analyst highlighted multiple signs of capitulation which emerged over the last month, one of which was the significant decline in the Bitcoin hash rate. Quoting him here, Bitcoin miner capitulation mirrors December 2022 levels with a 7.7% hash rate drop, similar to the post-FTX collapse conditions. Such declines often signal potential market bottoms. The CryptoQuant report also noted that the miners have been extremely underpaid, as evidenced by the miner profit loss sustainability indicator for most of the period since the halving, which was on April 19th. And as a result, the miners have seen a 63% decline in daily revenues since the halving, when Bitcoin's base block rewards and transaction fee revenue were higher. So there you have it. Crypto fam, let me know your thoughts. Let's continue with our next story of the day. I got some bullish targets to share with you. This one is sending Bitcoin to 220,000. Then the latest from Anthony Scaramucci of SkyBridge Capital, predicting Bitcoin hitting 100,000 by this year's end. Send it. But yeah, let's start with this one right here. Headline reads, Bitcoin close to flashing bullish signal that previously foreshadowed over 270% rally for the biddy. According to Santamio, that's right. The prominent analytics firm says Bitcoin's about to give off a reading that previously signaled the start of the big rally for the crypto king. Santamio says that it is keeping a close watch on Bitcoin's 30-day and 365-day market value to realized value metric, which is the MVRV. The MVRV is the ratio of the crypto assets market cap relative to its realized cap, or the value of all the coins at the price they were bought when the MVRV value drops to 0. It indicates that the asset is oversold, as traders who bought it at a certain time frame are witnessing losses. And according to Sentiment, traders who accumulated BTC 30 days ago are in the red, while those who purchased Bitcoin 365 days ago are just close to hitting negative territory. The analytics firm notes that the last time Bitcoin's 30-day and 365-day MVRV flashed red was all the way back in March 2023, just before Bitcoin ignited a strong uptrend from 20 Gs to 74,000. That's more than 3x, family. Let's get it. Quoting them here, one of the top signals for all of crypto that Sentiment values is when both Bitcoin's 30-day and 365-day MVRV are in negative territory. This is when there is mathematical validation that you are buying relative to other traders' pain. And if you had bought the last time both of these lines were in the negative territory, your return on Bitcoin would be 132% plus. Let's go. The analytics firm adds that the number of non-empty Bitcoin wallets has dropped by 566,000 since June 15th, suggesting hundreds of thousands of hodlers unloading their biddy in fear of seeing losses. What a shame. Don't let them shake you out, family. Quoting them here. Patient bulls should be pleased with this, as self-liquidating wallets from impatient non-believers is a sign of FUD, causing bottoms, just like we saw in January of 2024, earlier this year. And lastly, the analytics firm highlights the crowd sentiment for Bitcoin is at a one-year low, increasing the probability of a bounce. Quoting them again, Bitcoin sentiment amongst traders on X, Reddit, Telegram, 4chan, and Bitcoin Talk are showing the most bearish narratives this week in a year. When the crowd shows FUD at this level, the chances of a rebound to catch the majority off guard is at its peak. That's right. As the consensus, typically the opposite happens. So if everyone's anticipating the worst carnage of all time and FUD's at an all-time high, we're most likely to rip when they're all least expecting it. So keep that in mind, family. And let me know if you agree with that bullishness. Now for our featured story of the day. SkyBridge Capital's Anthony Scaramucci sees Bitcoin hitting $100,000 by year end and says good news is a-coming for the biddy. That's right, as the headline shares right here. Let's break it down. I know he was recently just interviewed. Scaramucci believes the Bitcoin will print massive all-time highs in less than 6 months. And in a new CNBC interview, the Mooch says Bitcoin can break out to 6 figures following a steep correction into the 50,000 range. The Mooch predicts Bitcoin's current correction is only temporary due to such factors as the defunct crypto exchange Mt. Gox settling with creditors and the German government selling coins. Quoting him here from the interview, we still love the fundamentals of Bitcoin long term, and I do think, as I said, it'll be $170,000 post-halving. But I think you'll get to 100,000 by year end. But it has to chug through the slog right now. He also says that Bitcoin can soon see a boost from FTX account holders who are expected to soon have their funds restored to them after the exchange collapse. He believes a large number of them will reinvest them into Bitcoin. Quoting him again, FTX is going to be releasing shortly $16 billion roughly of cash to investors that had their accounts at FTX. And so that's very good news for Bitcoin holders. I believe because a lot of that was in Bitcoin. It got frozen in the bankruptcy. It got dollarized, unfortunately, at low numbers. You can say that again for Bitcoin, but it is going to go back to those account holders shortly. And we think a lot of that may flow into the asset. And let me explain what he is talking about. So if you had one Bitcoin on the FTX exchange, you're not getting today's value of that Bitcoin. You're getting Bitcoin at the bottom of the cycle value at when it was like $16,000. You can't make this ish up. So it just goes to show you how corrupt. If the government's involved in it some way, some form, it's corrupt. and it's sad, but I digress. Lastly, he warns the Democratic Party that their reluctance to embrace digital assets compared to the Republican Party could cost them crucial votes in the upcoming November U.S. presidential election. Maybe you do know, maybe you don't know, but Scaramucci worked with Trump back when Trump was president. I think it only lasted like 10 or 11 days and he got fired. And since then, he has been on a tirade against Trump. He despises him and he's actually voting for Biden. You can't make the ish up, but I know because I follow him on X. But anyways, quoting him here, let's say there's only 20 million wallets of eligible voters in the U.S. And let's say 10% of them are single issue voters. You got 2 million potential voters in a very close, very narrow election being resolved by 6 or 7 swing states that could be a single issue digital asset voter. I think it is overwhelming conclusion that this will be an acceptable long-term asset class in the United States. So there you have it. And to watch the actual interview he did entitled Bitcoin Can Get to 100,000 by Year End, says Scaramucci from the CNBC interview. Check the show notes below the video in the description. And let me know if you agree. 100 G's by the end of the year. And what do you think the cycle peak will be? He says he can easily see it going to 170,000. I shared with you earlier, quoting Max Kaiser, the only project 2025 I'm aware of is Bitcoin breaking $350,000 in 2025, meaning Max is confident Bitcoin will break 350,000 next year for this cycle peak. Let me know if you agree or disagree, and I'll read your comments out loud. Welcome to the Q&A segment of the live stream. 580 on X, not too shabby. Shout out to the X fam. We're also streaming right now on Rumble and on the Tube. Appreciate you guys. What do we call people that store value in fiat? I thought you'd never ask, Mr. Dankness.
But like most of the people who are buying assets at some point want to sell the assets at a profit.
Nope. Just stacked another 0.1 biddies. Shout out to Daddy-O.
People that use fiat
currency, and of course I gotta chop up these clips so I don't get hit with demonetization or copyright claims, hence why we always chop it up. If you don't know, now you know.
Currency as a store of value.
We call them poor. Whoa, you nailed it, fam. Bitcoin going down 17 hours, 100K, nope. 250, 400,000 by the end of the year. I dig it, Greg. So sailing with twins has become sailing fishing twins. Correct, Satwise. Correct. Like water. I like that, Greg. Poor. Like water.
Poor. We call them poor.
You nailed it. Right on the money.
Bitcoin. What's the second best? There is no second best.
I said, empty your mind. Be formless, shapeless, like water.
Like water. Be water, my friend. Poor, you got it right. Clueless is another nice term, nice way to put it. BTC, BLX weekly since inception, 15 years. Bitcoin is only up 522 million %. That's it. It's only up 522 million %. The next cycle by 2028, Bitcoin will be at 3 million. If not, I'll eat John McAfee's member. Rest in peace, McAfee. That's right, fam. We call them poor plebs or ignorant with all the knowledge being everywhere. Yes. Pump to 69. Yes, please. Shout out to the crack knee. Yes, it has. Short-term investment, though. It will go up for as many hours as it went up. We are on a 15-year bull run. It's going up forever, Melda. Forever. The pavement in Vegas is 159 degrees. Wow. You can fry an egg. That's crazy. Are you being serious? 159 degrees. That's insane. It's maybe 90 degrees here in Puerto Rico. A little cloudy today, so it's blocking the sun, so it could be worse. You feel me? Who is the second best Bitcoin podcaster? There is no second best. There's a podcaster called JV, right? There is no second best.
There's no second best crypto asset. It isn't slightly different. Bitcoin.
There is a bank in cyberspace.
Bitcoin. Right? Bitcoin's a bank in cyberspace.
Pump to 69, please. Let's go. We're overdue. Keep in mind, previous cycle high was 69 back in November of 2021. It's like a deja vu moment right now. You have an excellent opportunity to seize those biddies below the previous cycle's all-time high. I make bank when McAfee Shield Verge. Word. He was pumping a lot of coins. He had at one point a coin of the day he was pumping. Kind of crazy, right? I've been to Las Vegas one time during the summer. We'll never do that again. Yeah, not the ideal time to go for sure. Is Bitcoin a good stock? It's the only stock worth investing in if you call it a stock. Whatever you want to call it, it's fine. Trade 5, folks. Be happy with 7% or so. Ha ha. Devon, JV is the best. There is no second best podcast. CNA fam. Thank you. Bitcoin to hit 69 trillion market cap. Hell yeah. Let's go. 69x from here, baby.